I really felt that her character was such a brat. I just felt like she was so over entitled, and she felt like that she should have everything that she wanted, and she wasn't willing to put in any of the work. I felt she was so obnoxious. And I don't think that has anything to do with Jessie Buckley. I think it's probably the way that it was written for me. I just didn't think that the character was likable at all. And because she's the main character who this centers around, if you didn't like her, then you're not really going to enjoy the film. My name is Sophie Hannah, and this is the CINE vlog, which is a vlog all about film reviews and just everything to do with films. And today I'm talking about Wild Rose. My initial thoughts, I just didn't like it, and I thought I would. I think I was actually very surprised because I thought that I was going to like this film, but it just wasn't doing it for me. The plus of the film is it's about a girl called Rosalind who has just come out of prison, and she has this burning desire to be a country singer. She really wants to go to Nashville in America and realize her dream, but when she comes back home from prison, you realize that she has a family. She has 2 children, she has her mother, and she has these relationships that I guess she kind of feels is holding her back from living her dream, and she has to find a way to reach her dream while trying to navigate all the responsibilities that she already has. Now, in terms of the pros, one would have to be that this is a Brit film. I always get very excited when there's a British film made because it always has a different feel to it than I would say mainstream American films. This film is set in Scotland, so Rosalind is Scottish and she lives in Glasgow, and I really love that it has like homegrown talent. It's partly funded by Film 4, so that was a pro. Also Julie Walters, that she's just such a reliable, such a good actress, and I really feel that she can do anything. She can do humor, and in this it was much more a drama, like a musical drama, and she did the drama so strong. I don't think it was anything in terms of fireworks, but she was just reliably good, and I think she was just everything that you would expect from her in the film, if that makes sense. Another pro for me was that all of the central characters in this film are female. So you have Julie Walters, and you have Jessie Buckley, and you have Sophie Okoneda. Like, it's really nice to see women fronting a film, and they're all women who are good actresses, and they could have really carried this film further if I felt like they had a better script to work with. But it's really nice to see more women in front of the screen, and I really appreciated that about the film because that so rarely happens. So that's definitely another pro for me. Another pro is that I like that it's like an underdog story, and I think that's a very British thing as well. We definitely root for the underdogs, and I like that this was about somebody who, for all intents and purposes, isn't supposed to make it. She doesn't come from a lot of money, she's a single mother, she's a convict, and about trying to follow her journey and see how she can still realize her dream. I was all involved. Like, when I saw the trailer, I thought this is definitely up my street. But I think in terms of the pros, for me, that's definitely where it ended. In terms of the cons, I feel like Jessie Buckley's character of Rosalind, I just felt that she was just a rebel without a cause. A lot of the situations that she got herself into, I didn't feel sorry for her whatsoever. I felt like she brought them on herself. She completely deserved them, and her trying to like shirk her children to fulfill her dream, which I didn't actually think made sense. Someone says to her in the film at one point, why do you want to go to America and be a country singer when you can just be a country singer here in the UK? And she says, well, who's going to want to listen to a British girl or a Scottish girl who wants to sing about country music? And I was like, who wouldn't want to? Like, that's your edge. I don't understand why you're trying to run off to America. Like, it just all didn't make sense to me. I really felt that her character was such a brat. I just felt like she was so over entitled, and she felt like that she should have everything that she wanted, and she wasn't willing to put in any of the work. I felt she was so obnoxious. And I don't think that has anything to do with Jessie Buckley. I think it's probably the way that it was written for me. I just didn't think that the character was likable at all. And because she's the main character who this centers around, if you didn't like her, then you're not really going to enjoy the film, and I think that's what happened for me. Also, I don't know if I can say this, but I think the majority of the songs that were sung, and in truth, like some of Jessie Buckley's singing, I just didn't think it was as good as the film wanted it to be. So the film wanted you to believe that she was this amazing undiscovered singer who's kind of hard on her luck and has made a few mistakes, but she fully deserves to make it because her voice is so wonderful. But I think in some of the song sequences, for me it wasn't believable, but that this was the voice that was going to make her be discovered. In terms of like her makeup and styling, they just made her look rough for the majority of the film, and I mean like so unkempt. that they really were trying to push this idea that she was working class and that she was just kind of rough around the edges. But for me, it was just too rough. I felt that the film dragged a bit as well. The film is about like an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm not kidding you. They spend the first hour, well, it's not even the first, it's the majority of an hour and 20 minutes trying to see her path of trying to get to America, trying to get to Nashville. So there's these ups and downs, and she's gonna make it, she's not gonna make it. She gets there, and then she's there for like 7 minutes, and then she's back home in Glasgow. I was so unbelievably frustrated. I was just like, why did we spend the majority of the film of her getting there if she just wasn't gonna like do anything? Like, it was mind-boggling to me, and I just felt like it was like the whole plight of the film was a waste. And I guess they were trying to end it somewhere differently, but for me, I just felt like, couldn't she have made it halfway through and then had a self-discovery and then spent like the latter end of the film trying to find out what her real purpose is and what it was that she actually needed to learn about herself and her life and her home and her children. I just feel like it wasted too much time. Also, Sophie Okoneda's in it, who is a really good actress, and I think that in this role, her character was just a caricature of a real person and just had absolutely no depth. I didn't understand why she was the way that she was. It didn't talk about her setup or how she'd gotten to the place she was in her life, or what it is she actually did for a living and what her goal was in life or in this film, apart from helping Rose Lynn get to America and fulfill her dream. I felt like her character was just kind of vapid, and again, this has nothing to do with her as an actress. I think it's all down to the plot and the script, and I just felt like the majority of the characters just weren't very well developed. So what to take away from this film? I don't think it adds much to like the musical drama genre, to be honest. I don't feel like this is a film that people are going to be talking about for a while, but the idea, as I said earlier, about the underdog and being someone who might not have all of the right background to get where you want, you might not have somebody who's going to give you a foot in the door, but if you have a talent and a passion and you have hard work and you're willing to stick to it, then things might be able to happen for you. And I really like the idea of that, and I also like the way that women were helping each other in this film. So men weren't a major focus, as I said earlier. It was about women helping each other, motivating each other, and doing what they can to be an ally for people who want to realize their dream. So those are really great things to see. In terms of stars, now I rate my films according to burgers because I love them, and for this film, for me, I would give this 2 burgers. I really would. Maybe 2.5, but let's say 2.5. It's above watchable. It's like an okay burger. It's one that, you know, like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna hit the spot, but it just isn't anything special. And that's what this film was for me. Like, I honestly left there pretty annoyed at the end because I just felt like they had good actors, something that could have been a good plot, something that could have been a good story. I feel like it dropped the ball in various elements, and for me, this isn't something that I would watch again. But if you have seen it or you're going to be seeing it, I would love to know your thoughts, so please let me know down in the comments. Now, you may know that I like to end my vlogs with a film question, so my question would be, as this is a musical drama, what is your favourite musical? What is the film that when you hear it, you have to be toe tapping it as they're singing the lyrics? I feel like musicals, they get a bad rap sometimes, but they're a very important genre in like the film history. Like when you look from the great musicals of the past to where we are now, like it's kind of like a dying genre, I would say, in general. But what has been your favorite musical? Please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your answer. Please also don't forget to like this video, to share, to subscribe, and put on the bell for notifications so that you can be one of the first people to hear whenever I'm releasing anything new. Please add me on Twitter and Instagram so you can follow my journey as I watch 100 films in 2019. But until the next film, I'll be seeing you soon.